This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called Auto Quote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you save time on the research and can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this episode at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Hey, it's Austin James. Yes, I'm living with diabetes, but it doesn't have to define me. Thanks to the Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor, I get real-time glucose readings throughout the day. The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor is small and easy to wear, giving me the freedom to focus on my life as a parent and a musician. Now this is progress. You can get a free sensor at freestylelibre.us.
Offer available for people who qualify. Visit myfreestyle.us to see all terms and conditions. Certain exclusions apply. Data on file. Abbott Diabetes Care. Per prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
Now tuned into the greatest.
So when that bag come, I won't fumble. I'm just stacking on the low, but hey, I'm tired of being humble. Let me get to it. That motivation music. Get control of your life. Don't let nobody else do it. Cause so I'm not gonna have Metro S550s cruising. Feel like you winning on the ground, but he really losing.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. Of course, I appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you hear something you agree with, you disagree with, you like or you dislike, or even if you just want to outsmart me on something I said, go ahead, shoot us a quick take, 219-413-9405. And of course, we'll play your take back on our next episode. And then shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. Go ahead, get $20 off your first ticket purchase when you use the promo code TheRunPodcast. Now, this code can only be applied for first-time users on the mobile app or website. So it's a lot of baseball going on right now. My Tigers is really just killing everybody right now. We just swept the socks off of them boys, as they mentioned. The Red Sox, man, we just whacked them up. So I love it, man. I'm really loving it. Go to one of these baseball games and use that promo code. Anyway, look, we actually got a voicemail from someone. He left us a voicemail. He's seen some stuff about the Stephen A. and LeBron thing. I know this is way overdue, but he must have caught it at the end or something because he had a lot to say about it. I ain't listened to the whole thing. I just seen it was a longer voicemail. So I was like, all right, let's see what he got to do. So I'm going to play the voicemail. Here we go. And then, we'll hear him out. Let's see what he's talking about here. I got it, man. Let's pull this up real quick because, man, I was shocked. I seen some things about it and I'm like, all right, this you talking about LeBron on here? Like, damn, what LeBron do? And I go look at some of the transcript, and I'm like, okay, this is all right. So here we go, man. Let's go ahead and play it. Let's see what he's talking about here on the voicemail. Let's do it.
My name's Andre Hicks.
What's good, Andre?
I'm in California, from Compton, and this is concerning the Stephen A. On LeBron. And not just because I'm from California, I'm from the LA area.
Okay.
This is Stephen A. Basically, old shoe shining ass, ain't got no hair on his head.
Damn.
Won't listen to LTD. I think I better let it go. Teddy Pendergrass won't let it go. I mean, between him and that other coon on the radio, TV show,
damn,
on the Fox show, the big fat boy who ain't did nothing but play with himself when he was playing football. He stayed on the ground more than anything else.
Talk about Spears?
I can't think of his name.
Spears.
This is what gets me, is that why do you always find humor? Even the other day, I can't think of the Big Woody, offensive lineman, was on his show, and he said, man, hold up. We're going to front him off on national TV. Where is your blazer and your tie? On national TV. But he was on prior to Stephen A. show. He was on oh my God, what's the show that comes on before Get Up? Ain't nobody said nothing about his dress attire, but he gonna front Woody off, man. Man, I wish I could say something to Stephen A.'s face straight up. I'd tell him about himself. He's a stove-bought. I'm not gonna call him Uncle Tom because Uncle Tom really stood up for black people. I'm gonna call him a straight tap dancing Negro.
Ooh.
That's a tap dancing Negro.
Damn,
I'm going
dog.
to tell you that. They're always saying he hard from New York. He ain't hard. Let him walk from El Segundo down Wilmington Avenue to Rosecrans in Compton, Front Hood District. Straight Front Hood. I bet you he won't make it from one end to the other. Bring your entourage with you. You won't make it, partner. Thank you.
Damn. All right, go off, man. Go crazy then, bro. This is what this is about. Get your takes off. If you got something on your chest, I'll let everybody hear it, man. I want to hear what y'all thinking. I want to hear what the sports world is thinking. So I will play whatever you send as long as it makes sense. So get your flows off, bro. Andre, I ain't mad at you, bro. A lot of people feel that way about Stephen A. Personally, I can't necessarily say I agree. There's some things in there, some points you made where, it is probably debatable, but at the end of the day, bro, that's your take on that, and I respect it, bro. So shout out to you for, shooting us a call and getting your flows off about Stephen A. But I ain't gonna lie, bro, a lot of people ain't making that walk either. I know you mentioned Stephen A. ain't making that walk, but a lot of other people ain't making that walk either. And I don't necessarily know if it has anything to do with, if a person is tough or not, because that sounds like a long ass walk too, though, bro. like I'm not from the area, so I don't necessarily know. And correct me if I'm wrong. I might, it might be a long walk, it might not be, but it just sounds like a long ass walk. Sound like some Paul Pierce type stuff, And I don't know the area, so I don't know. But sometimes, when you go to dangerous places and you mind your own business, you straight. So I don't know if Stephen A. would be doing that. Obviously, he probably wouldn't be yapping off at the mouth if he, was out there and talking to people, but he probably would be cool. But I just don't know, man. That's your flow. Hey, I respect how you feel on that situation. I respect how you feel about Stephen A. Again, a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people feel different. But, hey, get your flows off. I respect that you went ahead, left a quick take on there. Anybody who's listening, get your flows off. Shoot us a quick take, 219-413-9405. We'll play your take back on our next episode, for sure. And we'll let everybody hear it. If they want to comment on it, go ahead, do it. I'll comment on it. But we'll get your flows off for sure. So go ahead and send us a call. And, of course, we'll play it. Other than that, man, we got some news for the run coming up. Some news that you got to hear. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. It's halftime.
This episode brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Shifting a little money here, a little there, and hoping it all works out? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can get a better budgeter and potentially lower your insurance bill too. You tell Progressive what you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll help find you options within your budget. Try it today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Hey, it's Austin James. If you're like me, trying to live your best life while living with diabetes, you can relate to worrying if you're doing a good job managing your diabetes. I use the Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor to get real-time glucose readings and see the impact of every meal and activity to make better decisions. The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor can help me live life with diabetes on my own terms, and it gives me more time for the things I love, like being a dad and a musician. Now this is progress. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
All right, man, so let's jump into some news for the run. Let's get into it. Of course, man, leave us a quick take, 219-413-9405 if you want to comment on anything or just go ahead and get your flows off and let us know what's happening. So in the NFL, you got some stuff going on. So you got to check out the schedule release that's been going on in the NFL for your favorite team. A lot of teams been dropping videos. A lot of teams dropping graphics and all kind of stuff to show who the teams are playing. So you want to be updated on who your team is. And I think tickets are now on sale. I know I'm trying to go to some Falcons game. So, use the promo code too to run podcast and save yourself $20 if you are buying tickets. It's for first-time purchases only, so you might have to make a new account and all of that. However, with the schedule release in the NFL, the Eagles are the first team in NFL history to have 10-plus games against playoff teams from the previous season. So that tells you they got an extremely difficult schedule going on. I know the Lions also have an extremely difficult schedule. There's a couple of teams out here with some elite schedules. So the way the NFL cooked this up, I'm excited for it. However, the first game of the season that's going to kick off the NFL season is between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. And I usually would never, ever side with the Eagles or the Cowboys. But in this instance, unfortunately, I'm going with the Cowboys. I hope they kind of knock some sense into the Eagles and into the fans, just knock them off the high horse just a little. And yes, I'm hating. Shit, I'll admit it. I'm hating on the Eagles. At this point, yes, I'm hating on the Eagles. I'm not hating on Jalen Hurts. Great quarterback, not top 5, but that conversation will be revisiting that multiple times out the season, and I'll stand on that no matter what. But I think I'm turning into the biggest hater of the Eagles right now. Kind of how I was with the Cowboys and how I am with the Cowboys. But it's really the whole NFC East. I don't know what it is. I'm going to get back to the news in a sec, but I don't know what it is about the NFC East that's just so damn annoying. Whether it's Cowboys fans, Eagles fans, Commanders fans, I can live with because they've been bad for so long. But Giants fans even is just like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about the NFC East. But Cowboys, Eagles fans is beginning to act more like Cowboys fans. Cowboys fans has just always been whatever. So I don't know, man. Week 1, though, that's going to be hype between Cowboys and Eagles. So I'm excited about that. Anyway, some other news that's going on in the NFL. Cornerback Jalen Ramsey still has a big question mark on where he'll be playing next season after being mentioned in multiple trade talks. So multiple reports say that he has interest from multiple teams, and we can expect a trade to happen in the upcoming weeks. So I'm excited to see where Ramsey ends up. Also, too, Bengals DN Hendrickson, he is dropping a hint on where he wants to be traded. So in a Sports Illustrated article, he mentioned the Lions. And he said Detroit already has one of the game's best young players at the position in Aiden Hutchinson. And the proposition of adding another would give them one of the league's best pass rush duos. I 1000% agree with him. And for the Lions' sake, that would be nasty. That would be a good pickup if they did pick up Henderson. And that would be disgusting. Especially with Hutch coming back. Oh, man, that would be disgusting. And they got a healthy defense now. Disgusting if Hendrickson goes there, man. Whew. Anyway, so for the other thing that's going on, like I said, the schedule release is the main thing. So I want to discuss my Atlanta Falcons here because my Atlanta Falcons, I'm excited about their schedule for the 2025-2026 season. I'm expecting some big things to happen here. However, Falcons, they got 5 primetime games. I'm super excited about this. It looks like the league is probably noticing how great they are and the things that they're doing and, the come up. It seems like they're realizing it. But the games that they're playing in primetime, they'll be going against the Vikings in week 2, the Buffalo Bills week 6. This is going to be fresh off a bye week. The bye week is week 5. 49ers in week 7. Buccaneers in week 16. Rams in week 17. So with these primetime games, I'm excited. It looks like very winnable primetime games. The biggest one that scares me right off the back is probably the Vikings and the Bills in week 2 and week 6. I think we'll pretty much have the Buccaneers, taken care of, especially since they got a new offensive coordinator and they had a lot of drama going on too. Didn't really, make a big surprise in the draft of making anything, pop. However, in terms of the Falcons, I think they'll win 12 games. And I'm standing on that. I got the Falcons winning 12 games this next season. They're definitely going to improve from the 8-9 season that they had last year. But I want to be on record, and I'm standing on the Falcons winning 12 games this upcoming season and this upcoming year. So obviously, I want to start with the division, and I'll bring up all of the other, matchups that they have. But I want to start with just the division because you got to really win these divisional games if you're talking about winning anything. And I'll pull it up for those who are on the stream to see, the division games and stuff like that. But, one of the things that I think about in the division is not really that much competition. Truth be told, it's not a bunch of competition in the NFC South. It's really between the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers, because not too worried about the Buccaneers. Again, they lost their offensive coordinator who was making a lot of things happen for them. He had the offense flowing. They had injuries last year that's going to carry over into this year. So I'm not too really worried about the Buccaneers making things happen and being a huge disruptor in the NFC South. I think they can obviously be a factor depending on how well Baker Mayfield plays and how well that offense adjusts to losing a coordinator. However, but the main focus is for me, being an Atlanta Falcons fan, is going to be the Carolina Panthers, because they did amazing in the draft. We also seen them come off the end of the season last year off a huge high, and Bryce Young's play, he was playing great. So the division games is going to be important. Panthers is the main thing that I'm focusing on in terms of who's going to win this division. After that, I'm looking at these other teams, and when I see them, I don't really see too many L's coming our way, truth be told. So the games that concern me, we'll forget about the preseason games. Those obviously don't matter, but it's in the graphic here, so we'll see it. But week 2, like I said, Vikings, I think it's going to be a great matchup. It'll be in prime time, and it is an away game happening in Minnesota. So that's going to be tough. We got to go there and win. It'll be, the Vikings, their prime time slot. They got a lot to prove too, and they also got a tough division, so they can't afford to lose games that's not in their division. So that'll be tough. I understand that. However, more games too on here. Buffalo Bills is another game that worries me a little bit. The Commanders is a game that worries me a little bit. And then, I kind of want to think about some of the other games that we should win, but probably will lose, because that does happen. Dolphins, another team. Sometimes the Dolphins are there, sometimes they're not there. And then outside of the Dolphins, the Jets are another team I got my eye on, and the Seahawks are another team I got my eye on, and teams in terms of games that we might not lose. And God forbid we do split with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or split with the Panthers. I think that would make for like 5 or 6 games. So, this is where I say, I really do have the Falcons winning at least 12 games. And I want to stand on that. So Falcons are going to win 12 games. And another reason why I say Falcons are going to win 12 games is because they did make a lot of improvements from the offseason. So the big issue was not necessarily the offense. Obviously, we know, Falcons fans, we know that we got screwed by Kirk Cousins coming out after the season saying he was playing through injury. We started off hot. We started off whacking teams left and right in prime time. It was prime time Kirk. We was hype about Kirk Cousins. And then he got hurt. Shoulder injury, continued to play through it. We went down a slippery slope of failure, lost like 5 or 6 games straight, and we just never could find a groove after that. Penix saved the day a little bit, gave us a little hope toward the end of the season. However, after that, when I'm looking at the offense now, starting off with Penix, I think we'll see great things. We didn't lose anybody on the offensive end. Guys are only going to improve. We kept Bijan, Drake London, all of that. And then our quarterback position is going to be solid. One of the things, too, I love about the Falcons right now, not sure if it'll be this way come toward the season, but right now we have the best backup quarterback in the NFL. And that's not even a debate. Kirk Cousins being a backup quarterback, especially if he's healthy and not worrying about his shoulder injury, we're definitely in good hands here. And then on the defensive side, which was the biggest question mark for the Falcons last year, we definitely improved there. We fired our defensive coordinator, brought in Jeff Arbich, who I think is going to do a great job. But the big issue was the pass rush for the Atlanta Falcons. We could not get pressure on anybody. No matter who it was, how good their offensive line was, or whatever the case was, we could not get pressure on anybody. And then word came out toward the end of the season, in the back half of the season, it was more Raheem Morris calling the defensive pass rush and calling the defensive plays, which is why those sacks increased toward the end of the season compared to the beginning of the season. So I'm loving our defensive odds here matching up against these other teams. I think this was the area where we needed to improve in the offseason, and we did that. We brought in some free agents that's going to add some more depth to the defense. And then we also drafted very well, bringing in a new safety, Xavier Watts. I mean, he's about to be great because Justin Simmons, we let him go, and he was injured back and forth, but it just wasn't consistent play. So now we bring in a fresh young guy who's obviously cheap because he's on a rookie deal. And then you bring in 2 edge rushers, Pierce and Walker, who are going to be great and bring the force as well. So these guys are going to be around for some years too because they're going to be on rookie deals. So this defense is loading up for the future. The offense is obviously still very, very young. So I'm loving where we are right now in the season. And I got the Atlanta Falcons winning 12 games for sure. And I'm excited about it, man. I'm pumped and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go at this point. So, hey, man, check those schedules out. Check with your teams. Falcons going to win a division. I'm going to get to acting crazy, too. Just know, I want to tell y'all right now, I'm acting a damn fool when the Falcons win 12 games, get to the playoffs, secure the division, and then beat the Eagles first round or whatever the case is. Just know. Or beat the Lions first round, or beat the Commanders first round. Just know I'm acting a damn fool. I want y'all to know. So here's your warning. I tried to warn y'all about the Pistons, and now I'm warning you about my Falcons. I'm gonna act a damn fool. So if you see me on IG, TikTok, YouTube, wherever you be watching me, just know I'm cutting up. So this is your warning. So give me some grace when my team is whacking everybody, and I'll hold myself accountable if they not. I ain't got no problem. If my team stinking it up after I said they're going to win 12 games this season, I'll hold myself accountable. I ain't got no shame in that. It wouldn't be the first time. But I got to at least let you know. I'm giving you a warning. Because like I told y'all with the Pistons, I said it. I told you I'm cutting up. As soon as the Pistons good, they get in the play. And y'all let them get in the playoffs? So don't let them get in the second round, third round next year. It's over with, bro. It's over with. I'm just telling you right now. Anyway, other than that, bro, look, man, I'm gonna leave y'all on a positive note here. That's all I got for y'all. So I'm gonna leave y'all on a positive note. The positive note here, it's just gonna be, don't be scared, man. Don't be scared. Don't be scared to take the lead. Don't be scared to go to the next level or do whatever you got to do to take risk. Just don't be scared because you never know what's gonna happen. And the more you break down the word fear, false evidence appearing real, then it's like you really have nothing to be afraid of. So, trust yourself. Trust if you believe in a higher power, or if you don't, whatever. Just trust yourself and, take risk. So that's what I'm going to leave y'all on. Interpret that however you want to, man. Hopefully, as long as it's positive, that's all you got to worry about. Other than that, man, that's all I got for y'all. So I greatly appreciate you guys tuning in, whether you listen on a stream, whether you listen on YouTube. YouTube stream is what I mean. Or podcast, iPodcast, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, you just listen to the clips. It don't matter, man. I do appreciate it. Follow us on Instagram at The Run Podcast, personal page at I am Manny Wilson, TikTok, all of that stuff at The Run Podcast, YouTube at The Run Podcast. So check us out, man. I do appreciate you guys tuning in. Of course, we'll be back later on next week. Y'all boys have a great weekend. Y'all girls have a great weekend. Whoever listening, have yourself a great weekend. You better enjoy it. Spring is among us at this point. So, no, man, I'm out of here. I've been talking too much. Shit, I'm out of here. All right, y'all. I'm out of here, man. Peace out, man. I'll catch y'all later on next week. And so on and so on and so on.
Hey, it's Austin James. Yes, I'm living with diabetes, but it doesn't have to define me. Thanks to the Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor, I get real-time glucose readings throughout the day. The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor is small and easy to wear, giving me the freedom to focus on my life as a parent and a musician. Now this is progress. You can get a free sensor at freestylelibre.us.
Offer available for people who qualify. Visit myfreestyle.us to see all terms and conditions. Certain exclusions apply. Data on file, Abbott Diabetes Care, or prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.